Cool.
Hi everyone. My name's Resha. I'm sure you've seen me around here. I'm a student here at the moment. I've been a licensed esthetician, and I've been in the beauty industry for about 20 years. I started out as a makeup artist in 2003, and since then I've been working with tons of different companies. In 2010, I married a tattoo artist, and I started making aftercare packets for their customers. And so I started my first skincare line in 2015. It's designed to heal and preserve tattoos. 2023, I came here and I got my license got my degree in aesthetics, got my license, and I've been working at Prodigy Salon since. I'm the skin specialist at Prodigy Salon. Basically, that means that anything image skincare goes through me. So I do all the ordering, I do all the training. I've been there almost 2 years now, and I've done over 700 patients. And it kind of just shows me that image skincare, truly, in my opinion, image skincare really is the best. And I'm going to talk a little bit about product knowledge today, because I've learned that product knowledge, ingredients, and vitamins are some of the more complicated things to understand in aesthetics. So please take a moment to ask me any questions through this whole talk. This is probably the 4th or 5th time I've done this talk. So please, if I say anything, please just ask me anything through the whole thing. So I'm just really just going to start by saying, out of all the different products and ingredients and modalities, there are hundreds of different ingredients out there that claim to be anti-aging. You see it all the time on television, you see it in magazines, you see it scrolling all day long. All these are things. This is clinically proven to reduce the signs of aging, or dermatologists tested to prevent the signs of aging. Out of all these different products and ingredients, how many of these do you think are actually proven to work? Not one. There is only one ingredient in the whole world that has actually been proven and approved by the FDA to prevent or reduce the signs of aging. Retinol. Retinol is the only ingredient that has been proven to reduce the signs of aging. So when your guests come to you and they say, hey, I found this awesome new peptide collagen mix to put in my coffee, it's going to reduce the signs of aging. It's going to improve your collagen, but it's not going to reduce the signs of aging. Again, retinol's the only one. Here in the aesthetics industry, we have another name for retinol. It's called vitamin A. Vitamin A and retinol are the same thing. And the reason why vitamin A or retinol is the only thing that's been proven to work is because of cell turnover or cell renewal. As we age, our cell renewal slows down. Our cells die faster, and they don't renew as quickly. Retinol, or vitamin A, helps to aid in speeding up that process. And if we turn over our cells faster, we reduce the signs of aging. Any questions about retinol or vitamin A? Great, all are awesome. And it's going to be pretty much like this. I'm just going to go through some vitamins, some ingredients, maybe a few theory, and that's all it's going to be today. So it's going to be really quick. Absolutely.
What age do you recommend to start using retinol like that?
I would say there's been several studies about this. Some people say in your 40s is good. I would say starting in your mid-30s would be a really safe time. I've been seeing sometimes teenagers starting on retinol. I guess you can if you want to, but it's really not going to do much for you until your 30s. Yeah, retinol nightly would be a good idea. Probably in your mid to late 30s would be good to start. And another important point about that is making sure that you and your guests are using retinols at night. We don't want to put our retinols on during the day because of sun exposure. What retinol does is, in some cases, it will help to thicken our skin to reduce the signs of wrinkles. But in other cases, it can thin our skin more sensitive to sun exposure. It can also make it more sensitive to waxing. So if somebody's been on retinol, you want to make sure that you avoid waxing them and at least 2 days after their last use. There's an alternative though. It's called bakuchiol. Bakuchiol is a natural alternative to retinol, and it's one of my favorite skincare ingredients. What this is an Eastern. Honestly, it's a weed. It's a weed from Eastern China, and what it does is it mimics the benefits of retinol without the side effects. So you can go out into the sun, you can wear it all day long, you can wax after it, and it's just a little bit more safer. So somebody who wants to reduce the signs of aging, but they can't use retinol, somebody with maybe sensitive skin, you're leaning towards products with bakuchiol. The Clear Cell line in Image Skincare has some bakuchiol in it.
So what about in the use of treating acne with retinol? Would bakuchiol do the same thing?
Absolutely, yes. And so vitamin A can also be used to treat acne as well as, it's a good point, as well as to reduce the signs of aging. What the vitamin A does is its antioxidant properties is what helps with acne. So the acne that we see, the redness that we see, is itself inflammation. And so what vitamin A can do is it can help to reduce that inflammation. And so if we reduce the redness, we reduce the signs of the acne.
So when you go and you look through it, because there's all the different percentages and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so what would you recommend for someone that's just starting out?
Someone that's just starting on retinol, you would want to, you'd want to the lowest percentage you can have, and then don't go into it right away. Use your regular moisturizer one day, and then use your retinol the next day, and then alternate for like the first week or 2 to get your skin into basically conditioned into using the retinol. So start low, alternate for the first week or 2, and then you can really get into. Then you can start bumping it up, the percentages, and also.
Purge and stuff like that.
I'm sorry?
Start doing purge and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And when you're getting into higher percentages of retinols, something that you can buy on the shelf is very different than something a physician can give you. So if you find yourself at a higher percentage of retinol and it's still not doing anything for you, I recommend visiting a dermatologist. They can give you a stronger percentage, or they can give you a different formulation that's safer to use. Any other questions about retinol or vitamin A? Perfect. I'll just move on to the next one, vitamin E. It's also known as niacinamide. You may have heard that in the commercials and stuff. For skincare, there are 2 main benefits of niacinamide. One, it removes surface oils, so it's good for acne. It helps you remove the oils, get those oils out of the way so that you can get in there and start targeting those bacteria. The other benefit is it helps to even out the skin tone. And so it's not a natural lightener, but what it does is it helps to even out the skin tone. So if you somebody who, let's say like for acne, for example, somebody who has a little bit of redness or inflammation from the acne, their retinols can help to reduce the inflammation, but the niacinamide can help to remove the rest of that redness. You would also see niacinamide in a lot of the Aluma line here at Paul Mitchell, the Image Skincare, the Aluma line. Niacinamide is important in that line. And then I'm just going to go over a few other highlighters and brighteners since we're on the subject here. And it's these. You can also find these ingredients in the Aluma line as well. So niacinamide is one. It helps to even out the skin tone. Another one is called licorice root extract. You can find that in the Image line. Licorice root extract is a natural lightener. It's a brightener. So if you have somebody who has light colored skin, but they have sunspots or dark spots, this will help to lighten those dark spots. If you have a guest with dark skin, what that's going to do is that's going to help to even out some post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It's going to just help even out the skin tone. So people with darker skin tones, it's going to even it out. People with lighter skin tones, it's going to correct it. Another one is kojic acid. People find kojic acid also in the Illuma line. They also have a enhancer of the Illuma in there as well. So you can take the kojic acid enhancer and you can put it on a mask or moisturizer just to give it an extra boost. Kojic acid, out of all those, kojic acid is probably the most common one that you'll see besides niacinamide. So those all even out the skin tone, and they all help to brighten lighter tones and even out darker tones. While we're on this subject, I'm going to move on next. Vitamin C is next. Vitamin C also suppresses the production of melanin, so you can get an evening effect with that as well. Before I move on to vitamin C, any questions about vitamin B? No? Yeah? I'm sorry? Ooh. Depending on what skin type you have. Alright, so if you have somebody with oily skin, I would use niacinamide to help even out the skin tone. If you have somebody with like normal or dry skin, I would go the other direction. Yeah, it's not a we're not in a one size fits all industry, and there are always exceptions to every rule. So vitamin C is next. I like to call vitamin C a super ingredient. And I can think of 3 super ingredients. One is vitamin C, one is gold, and the other is CBD. All 3 of these ingredients do have multiple benefits, and they're all the same, actually. So vitamin C, gold, and CBD. They are anti-inflammatories. They are antioxidants. They suppress the production of melanin. They're natural moisturizers, and they can even out the skin tone. They have multiple benefits. Again, that's vitamin C, gold, and CBD. Do all of those things for you. You can, obviously, the Vital C line from Image Skincare is most popular. The Vital C Hydrating Anti-Aging Serum. I'm sure everybody in here has at least heard of it or maybe used it so far. In my opinion, that's the one thing I would take to a desert island with me. If I could have one skincare product total, it would be that one. Because it has 5 different forms of vitamin C, including the oil-soluble form of vitamin C, which is really important. I'll get to that in just a moment. But we have 5 different molecules of vitamin C. And all of these molecules of vitamin C in the Vital C Hydrating Anti-Aging Serum, all of these molecules the sizes are a little bit different. So the smaller molecules will penetrate your skin faster. The larger molecules take longer to penetrate, so this creates a time release effect. It's moisturizing and giving you anti-inflammatory and anti-aging properties. All of those things, it gives a time release effect that'll be with it all day long. And the reason why the oil-soluble form, there are two different types. Well, I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. The problem with vitamin C, or the complaint we have with vitamin C, is as soon as you open the bottle, it's exposed to air and it starts oxidizing, and it's not going to work. It happens all the time. It's a normal thing. Every time you open and close a bottle of vitamin C, you're going to oxidize a little bit. And so it's not going to hurt anything, but it's just not going to be as effective. It's not going to be as potent. There's an oil-soluble form of vitamin C. It's called tetrahexadecyl-sodium. It's a really long name. What the oil-soluble form does is it allows you to open and close the bottle as many times as you want, and it gives it shelf life. It'll last longer. It'll be potent longer. And so the oil-soluble form is one of the 5 in the Vital C Hydrating Anti-Aging Serum, and it helps to keep that formula stable so that it lasts longer and it's more effective when you're using it. So when you're looking at vitamin C's, you want to look for 2 things. One, you want to either look for the tetrahexadecyl-ascorbate, or you want it to be in a container that doesn't open. You want a pump so that the air doesn't get in for the vitamin C. Any other question about vitamin C? Yeah, so I would either keep it in the fridge or put it in a different container. Yeah, that's my phone. Any other questions about vitamin C? Next one is going to be vitamin D. This one's really quick and easy. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's technically a hormone. And it's synthesized through exposure to the sun. So so when the sun hits your skin, we're synthesizing vitamin D in your body. You can't just it can't just go and get it. There are of course supplements, but vitamin D is synthesized through exposure to sunlight. And because we live up here in this high altitude, we wear a lot of sunscreen. We cover ourselves from the sun, and we shield ourselves from the sun because we have over 300 days of sun here in Colorado Springs. So everybody up here in this high altitude, we are all vitamin D deficient up here because we are shielding ourselves from the sun. And that's vitamin D. It's really quick and easy. Any questions before I move on about vitamin D? Yeah, go for it. So what's the point? What's the point? It's an antioxidant. So that's basically what it does for you. It helps to neutralize free radicals. Are you familiar? Have you learned about free radicals and antioxidants? Okay, I'll do that real quick for you. Because everything that I've shown you so far, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and vitamin D, and the next one, vitamin E, they all have antioxidant properties, and antioxidants are important in our industry. So I'll just take a moment to quickly just talk about antioxidants and free radicals. So you're out in the sun and you get a little bit of sunburn or you get a little bit of a tan. We're going to look at, for our purposes, we're going to just talk about one molecule. We're going to talk about one skincare molecule. It's right here. This skincare molecule is now exposed to sunlight. Because it's exposed to sunlight, it's going to lose an electron. All right? Now this molecule is floating around looking for that missing electron. This is called a free radical. The free radical is looking for its missing electron. And what this free radical is going to do is it's going to steal an electron from its neighbor to bring it back into balance. Now this electron, or this molecule, this one is out of balance. So it's going to steal from its neighbor, and this creates a chain reaction that damages your skin. One puff of cigarette smoke creates trillions of free radicals. And these are all creating chain reactions that are damaging your skin. An antioxidant donates that electron back to the molecule without having to steal it from its neighbor, so it stops that chain reaction that causes damage. So the antioxidants like green tea, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, anything you see in an antioxidant, what the antioxidant is doing is it's donating an electron to the molecule to bring your skin back into balance. Cool? Alright, awesome. Yeah.
If you have been smoking for a long period of time and you do stop, how long would it take to kind of fix that?
So I used to be a smoker. I stopped smoking in 2019.
I just stopped.
Congratulations, good for you. And so I don't know how long it would take for the antioxidants to repair, but I do know that your lungs can regenerate over 10 years. Like completely heal themselves. But again, it takes about a decade to come back from that damage. That's not necessarily about skincare. I just learned that from smoking. But I don't really know how long it takes for the antioxidants to. I mean, you would have to. I don't think stopping smoking itself would repair anything. You would have to put some antioxidants back in. So maybe green tea would help. Green tea is an amazing antioxidant, by the way. I use it all the time, and you can use it to drink, or you can use it in topical products. Any other questions? One more. Vitamin E. Vitamin E, the technical name, you might see it like on the ingredients. It's called tocopherol. Some people pronounce it tocopherol. Either way is correct, and either way is also wrong, so that's fine. What vitamin E does is probably the most common one. You can find it at every grocery store. You can find it at every drugstore. It's just this little bottle of vitamin E oil. That's the most common type. Vitamin E is a natural moisturizer, so it's also a bit of an occlusive, so it helps to keep the moisture, it helps to hold moisture in. Vitamin E also has one more really cool benefit that I love. It helps to prevent damage from the sun by absorbing the heat before it gets to your skin. That's the coolest thing that I love. So what it's doing is, instead of the sun actually, like, let's say you put a little vitamin E on your lips. So the sun hits your lips, it's actually not going to get there because it's creating a little bit of a barrier, and the vitamin E is going to absorb the heat from the sun before that sun damages your lips. There are no other ingredients in the world that can do this. So if you're looking to, if you don't necessarily have sunscreen, you have a little bit of vitamin E on your lips, it's great. I also use vitamin E, or I also recommend using vitamin E in the bath, especially in winter times, because in colder climates, our skin gets drier. So if you end up taking a bath, put a little vitamin E oil in there with it. That can help to moisturize your skin. Any question about vitamin E? Yeah, I've seen people treat it to use eczema before. And I've also seen, it also has, there are some studies that show that it can help to change the color of scarring as well. And so if you're using vitamin E for scarring, it's not going to really reduce the scar itself, but it is going to help to even out the color of the scar. If you want to actually start working with healing scars, then you want to go into vitamin K. I'm not necessarily, it's not on my notes, but I'll briefly talk about vitamin K. But what vitamin K does is it's called vasodilation. What it does is it constricts your blood vessels so that it reduces the inflammation from trauma. So when somebody gets plastic surgery, the doctor will put them on vitamin K to help heal those scars and make them a little bit more smooth. So if you want to look at healing scars, look at vitamin K instead of vitamin E. Any other question about vitamin E? Yeah.
So you said certain forms of vitamin C are better than others?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So for all the other vitamins, are there certain forms that are better?
No, vitamin C is the only one that oxidizes the way that it does. And so you really don't necessarily have to worry about that. Now, if you leave a container open all day long, other ingredients are going to get messed up. But vitamin C is the only one that I know of that has that problem of oxidation when you open it.
So when you see like the difference, like you can see one plant, one's like oil based, one's a serum, like they're all going to be just as effective.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it also, I'll put a caveat, it also helps with the formulation. The way it's mixed is also very important for how it works and how that works. Vitamin K, roasted oil, no problem as well. Yeah, vitamin K, yeah, absolutely. I take a vitamin K supplement every day because I have dry skin and I'm prone to redness in my nose and cheek area. I also have this little burst papillary right here in the middle of my nose. So I take vitamin K supplements to help to reduce that, to help to, again, constrict those blood vessels. And it's the same way that we use like cooling globes do the same thing. Cooling globes can help with the vaso constriction work. So if you have a little bit of inflammation, your blood vessels are going to expand. When your blood vessels expand, the blood gets closer to the skin, and that's why you see redness. Redness in the skin, you're actually seeing blood that's close to the skin. What vitamin K does, or what cooling globes do, or what any cool temperature can do, is it helps to constrict those expanded blood vessels, brings the blood vessels further away from your skin, and reduces the redness. So vitamin K is a topical or oral form to do that, and then just cold temperature. Kind of like how people like you see on the TV and movies, people they go to the spa and they have cucumbers over their eyes. The cucumber's not really doing much. It's the temperature of the cucumber that's helping to reduce the puffiness. The cucumber itself, you might get a little bit of moisture from it, but it's really all about the temperature to reduce that puffiness. You can have the same effect of a cold stew over a cucumber. So rosehip oil, that does is I've been looking into it. I've been working on trying to make a anti-acne scarring serum at the moment, and rosehip oil is one of those ingredients. What that does is that helps to even out scarring. How it does that is it helps to remove layers. Are you familiar with dermaplaning?
Yeah.
So it helps to remove little bits of layers of skin to help to even it out. Right? So if you're removing, like if you have the indentation of a scar, you have the skin around it, where it slowly erasing the skin around it. That's what we're doing. It does, yeah. I'm sorry, no. It's an antioxidant, not an Oh.
I've just been part of searching some of these out.
Yeah.
It says that it has vitamin A, C, and E.
Right.
So it has like a bunch of
Absolutely, it has a bunch of things in there. So the vitamin A in there, you're going to get the renewal properties from the vitamin A in there as well. Carrot seed oil has the same effect. It has a little bit of vitamin A in there too. I use carrot seed oil in anti-inflammatory moisturizers. And so yeah, carrot seed oil is good for that.
Is there any that you don't use together with vitamins or
Yes, you got to be careful mixing vitamin A or retinol with some other things. And so you want to like vitamin A and vitamin C. You can easily use those together. But let's say like vitamin A and I'm trying to think of one that you can't use together. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that.
Yeah.
I think you stumped me. That's a good one.
And then I have another.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know anything about castor oil? That's new rage.
Yeah, castor oil has been used for years and years and years. It has pretty much the same benefits of olive oil, which means it has a large molecule, so it stays on top of the skin so you can move it around. It's an occlusive, which means it holds moisture in and it keeps dryness out. And so yeah, castor oil has been, it's as old as aloe. It's been used forever. So that's cool that it's getting kind of a resurgence. But yeah, it's basically, its main properties are kind of like coconut oil. It creates a barrier to hold the moisture in and keep the dryness out.
I've been seeing about castor oil a lot online, people using like the body packs and stuff because it detoxifies you. Do you know?
I've never heard of that one.
Really?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
about like putting it in your belly button or literally like wrapping yourself in saran wrap in castor oil at night, and it's supposed to help reduce inflammation and detoxify.
I can see how the wrapping would work, but yeah, that I'm gonna have to look into that. That's a good idea. That's pretty cool. Go ahead.
Back to your human hormones difference. So it depends on certain types of vitamin C, so pH phosphate, and then AHAs and PHAs.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on like how the pH and how products are made, some of those can just kind of can't be turned on. Like specifically like vitamin C, it depends on the user. So be careful mixing vitamin C. So I did some more research on it, but it should be the use of the vitamins. I know for sure DHAs and AHAs.
We're getting an answer to your question. Sure.
So like I've noticed
Okay, it's called product roll. It just means you're using too much. If you put too much on, it's just going to start rolling off because it looks like flaking, but it's like rolling. That's pretty common. Or just cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, we're gonna move on. How much time do we have? 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm just gonna move into ingredients real quick. I just have a few ingredients to touch on. These are pretty common ingredients, and so I'll just touch on them real quick, and then I think we'll be done for today. First one is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a hydrator. There's a difference between hydrators and moisturizers. Hydrators, from a general perspective, hydrators, I like to think of them working from the inside out. Moisturizers cover the outside. So hyaluronic acid, it's a natural compound that's already in your skin, and what it does is it binds water, and so it can hold water to itself. In the same way that an ant can hold up 50 times its weight, hyaluronic acid can bind 1,000 times its weight in water, and it holds it at the surface of your skin. Another hydrator that's pretty common is glycerin. That's glycerin or vegetable glycerin it can be in skincare, it can be in food, it can be in hair care. It's everywhere, and it's probably the most common hydrator out there. And so again, a hydrator, what it does is it uses the moisture that you already have in your skin to bring this moisture to the surface. A moisturizer, on the other hand, covers the outside of your skin and moisturizes going in. And so that's two forms: the hyaluronic acid and glycerin. We've already talked about kojic acid and niacinamide. So next up, peptides. Peptides, again, generally, peptides are the bonds that hold your skin together, kind of like bonds. And over time, as we age, those bonds start to loosen up. So peptides help to repair these bonds just a little bit. They help to aid in the repair of these bonds, make your skin a little bit stronger. And in that way, in theory, it's helping to prevent fine lines and wrinkles from forming in the first place, because it's helping to keep your skin strong. So when people are using retinols, they mix them with peptides. They use them with peptides. Peptides and retinols work great because peptides prevent fine lines and wrinkles from forming, among other things that it does. Retinols help to renew skin. So that helps you to remember the difference between the two for PP and R&R. Peptides prevent, retinols renew. Lactic acid is another really common just a fun note about lactic acid. Cleopatra used to take baths with sour milk, and it would make her skin feel nice and soft and refreshed. Why? Because sour milk is lactic acid. So if you ever see lactic acid on there, you're literally talking about some of the properties within sour milk. And what that does is, again, it helps to chemically remove dirt, oils, and impurities. It helps to chemically remove them or break them down or eat them away, so that you can easily remove them, revealing fresh skin. Squalene. Squalene is a moisturizer. That's another really common one. You can find squalene in the Bio Plus line, especially in the Bio Plus serum. There's a lot of squalene in that one. That's a really good one. And then the clear solar gel. Do you use the clear solar gel here? That also has squalene in it as well. Again, that's a natural moisturizer. Moisturizers cover the outside and prevent moisture loss. And then the clear solar gel, along with squalene, is actually my next one, is green tea. The clear solar gel has squalene and green tea in there. Actually, I would take a minute to talk about the clear solar gel. the clear solar gel for British skincare has addressed a lot of the complaints about skincare, or about sunscreen. People say it makes me feel greasy, it breaks me out, it leaves this weird tint or this weird color on your skin. These are all common complaints about skincare, or it's too heavy. Well, the clear solar gel answers all of these concerns. It's a gel, so that means it's water-based. There's no oil, there's no grease at all, because it's a gel. It's clear, so you're not going to get a weird color cast. And also, it's non-comedogenic because it's a gel again. And so you're going to go in with water, it's water-based instead of oil-based sunscreen. And then again, it's clear, so there's no color. You're not going to get that weird color cast. It also has squalene, a natural moisturizer, and it has green tea, which is an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. So just as a daily moisturizer, it's great. But for people who are suffering from acne, or people who are skeptical about sunscreen, or people who have had a bad experience with sunscreen, ask them to try the clear solar gel. It answers all of those concerns. And briefly about sunscreen, I do want to take a moment because, especially in the past year or so, especially like on TikTok, seriously on TikTok, tens of millions of views about myths about sunscreen. And these myths about sunscreen they're bad for you, they're unhealthy, they cause skin cancer. All of these things are wrong. They're all myths. And as beauty professionals, it is our responsibility to shut down these rumors, right? There are multiple studies out there that prove sunscreen prevents skin cancer. There are zero studies to show sunscreen causes skin cancer. So again, as beauty professionals, it is our responsibility to shut down these rumors. There are no studies that say it causes skin cancer. Again, we're getting tens of millions of views of people on TikTok saying, stop using sunscreen, it's causing skin cancer. Now people are getting skin cancer and dying because they're following these TikToks. All right. Be careful with that. You have a lot of guests that are completely against sunscreen and they won't use it at all. However, in the state of Colorado, you must use sunscreen after every service, no matter what. And when it comes to sunscreen again, I'm going to go back to the vitamins or vitamin A and anti-aging. The number one anti-aging product out there is sunscreen. All right, wearing sunscreen every day is the best way to prevent the signs of aging. Daily sunscreen, not only helps to reduce the signs of aging, but it will help to prevent problems like skin cancer, melanomas. And SPF, when it comes to SPF, it's important to understand SPF stands for sun protection factor. It's a measure of how long you can be in the sun without starting to damage your skin. And so, like, let's say an SPF 30 is pretty much fine for anybody. Even somebody with certain concerns, an SPF 30 should be fine for just about anyone. An SPF 15, is all right. SPF 50 is great. However, there's only a 6% difference of effectiveness between an SPF 15 and an SPF 50. All right? It's only a 6% difference of effectiveness that it's going to work. All right? So again, an SPF 30 should be fine for just about anyone. Any questions about sunscreen or SPF? I'm going to stop. I have one more thing, and then I'm going to be done for today. It's just talking about the different light rays, the different rays of light from the sun. There's UVA, UVB, and UVC. And an easy way for me to remember those is UVA is aging. These are the light rays that are going to age your skin. These are the light rays that are going to come through the window. They can go through your clothes. so you can, they'll go through your head. So the aging light rays, these are the ones that you are really wanting to wear sunscreen for if you're concerned about anti-aging. 90% of our aging comes from sun exposure. 10% comes from our genes. So keep that in mind. The UVB rays, I like to call these the burning rays. These are the light rays that they're not going to go through your clothes. They're not going to go through the window, but you still need to cover up because they don't need to tan over on your skin. And then there's UVC rays. These are the strongest rays, but luckily they're filtered out by the ozone layer, so you don't necessarily have to worry about them down here. So when you're talking about sunscreens, you want to use a broad spectrum sunscreen, which protects against both UVA and UVB rays. The daily prevention line from Image Skincare, they are all broad spectrum. They all help to protect against UVA, UVB, and they also have an ingredient in there called digital defense. What that means is it's going to help to protect you from blue light from screens. Yes, screen type ages you. So careful of that one too. Yes. The blue light from the screens can age you. So that's why Image Skincare has put in their digital defense to help from that blue light. I don't know which one it is. I had to look at. But there's what? The screen, yeah, the screen they can definitely age you. There is a new antioxidant blend in the UV prevention. What that does is it helps to helps the environment a little bit better. But also there's another antioxidant in there that helps your digital defense that might notify you to for being on the machine. Notify you to because yeah, it's a good. I'm sure it would, just like a sunscreen would. Like if you're, or even sunglasses. Your sunglasses would have a UV filter on them. So that would totally make sense that you could put a filter over your screen. Yeah. In theory, that makes sense. In practice, I don't know if the product actually works, but it makes sense that it would work that way.
Question about hyaluronic acid. I
Yeah.
saw a video online the other day that said it thinned your skin. It was a plastic surgeon saying that. Have you heard anything to that?
No, I've never heard of that.
I don't recommend using hyaluronic acid.
Because it thins your skin? I've heard a debate. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the only reason why it will thin your skin is because hyaluronic acid is a large molecule of water to do what it needs to do. So if you're not using like anything like hydrating, you're not drinking enough water, you're not like having it on while your face is wet, I feel like anything that could thin it out because it's trying to take all water away from your skin. It's not I feel like that would be the only reason.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would because again, it's already it's already part of our. It's a natural compound. It's already in our skin. So
Yeah, it was
I-
surprised to hear that. I've never heard that.
that's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. But again, he's the doctor.
Right.
He knows more than I do. So can you find that video
Probably.
or I'll look it up and see because that's a. I haven't heard of that. What would it be that would bring this? Yeah, that totally makes sense that it would like what you're saying there because of is if you have a lack of moisture. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Complain, especially here, that like, oh, I use hyaluronic acid, but my skin feels so much more dry. It's like, well, your hair out, your skin's really gonna be wet after you put on the toner, like, what's going on?
Right. Yeah. Too much. Yes. Too much hyaluronic acid can dry out your skin because it's bringing all of the moisture from lower layers to the surface. So your lower layers are starting to, get thirsty. So yeah, the thinning of the skin. I haven't heard of that one. I'm gonna have to figure that one out because if it's true, then I'm gonna have to. Yeah. That's a crazy one. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Thank you. Any other questions from today before I go? No? Okay, cool. just gonna just do a quick review for you, and if you have any more questions, let me know. But I'm just gonna run through just a quick review. First of all, vitamin A, also known as retinol, the only ingredient that's been approved by the FDA to reduce or prevent the signs of aging. Niacinamide, that one helps to remove surface oils and it helps to even out the skin tone. Vitamin C, that's I call it a super ingredient. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant, suppresses the production of melanin, it's a natural moisturizer. Vitamin D, that's an antioxidant and it's also synthesized in your skin. The only other way to get it is supplements. And in our industry, especially in Colorado, we are not allowed to offer our guests oral supplements. We're not nutritionists, so that's their thinking behind it is we're beauty professionals, not nutritionists, so we're not necessarily allowed to offer supplements. And then vitamin E is a natural moisturizer, and it helps to absorb the heat from the sun so it doesn't damage your skin. Hyaluronic acid may or may not thin your skin. I don't know. That's a really cool question. I'm going to have to figure that one out. Again, it's a natural hydrator, and so it takes moisture from lower layers of your skin and it helps to hold it at the surface of your skin. Glycerin is another pretty common hydrator. And then peptides does many things, but peptides prevent fine lines and wrinkles from forming. Retinols will help to remove the skin. SPF of 30 is pretty good for about anyone. Again, it is our responsibility to dispel these myths and rumors. Sunscreen is safe, guys. It's good for you. And then SPF 30 should be good for just about anyone. And oxybenzone, I didn't talk about that, but there's one ingredient I'm going to leave you with. It's called oxybenzone. This is an ingredient that's currently being banned around the world right now in sunscreens. It's just bad for the ocean. It's hurting our coral reefs. So when somebody puts on a sunscreen with oxybenzone, they go into the ocean, it just slides right off of their skin, and it's starting to hurt our oceans. And so if you see sunscreens with oxybenzone in it, stay away. But it's pretty much been filtered out of the markets. Even the stuff at the dollar store doesn't even have it anymore. So stay away from oxybenzone in sunscreens. Cool. Well, thank you so much for letting me talk to you for now.